Okay, so a lot of other psychologists have focused on psychological and social needs that motivate our behavior. As humans, we are social beings, and so we have this need to be around other people. This is called the need for affiliation. So, this is what motivates us to seek social contact with other people. It motivates us to form relationships. It motivates us to belong or to want to belong to groups. It's basically what's encouraging our positive interactions with other people. Now, in addition to that, we also have a need for intimacy. So, not just forming relationships, but we also have this need for deep, meaningful relationships. And this need is gonna be what motivates us to seek out that kind of relationship. So we then have the need for power. And I should note that these needs are not going to be the same for everyone. We all have different levels of these needs. But basically, the need for power is the need to control and influence others. So this is what's going to drive behaviors linked to dominance and aggression in order to achieve that power over other people. And then finally, I should also note that this isn't all of our psychosocial needs. This is just some of the ones that have received some attention in research. And that brings me to this last one, need for achievement. So the need to excel in one's endeavors. I want to go into this one in a bit more detail because this is one of the main psychosocial needs that has been studied. And again, this is our need to excel in our endeavors. So again, people have different levels of this need. Some people have a very high need for achievement, and these are people that are motivated by achievement. We call this achievement motivation. They're motivated by that idea of achieving something, and that could be either external or internal motivation. It might be that a person is extremely motivated to achieve, for example, all A's because of the self-satisfaction they will gain, in which case that's internal motivation. Or they might want to achieve all A's because their parents buy them stuff every time they get an A, in which case it's external motivation. But the point is they are motivated by achievement. These are people that will work very hard to achieve their goals. They are very driven, usually very ambitious, and take a lot of pride in accomplishing things. And what research shows is that these are people that set challenging but realistic goals for themselves. So if a goal is too easy, then it's going to be boring. And if it's completely unobtainable, then they're not going to be interested either, because then there's no possibility of achieving anything. So they set goals that are not too easy. It challenges them. So there's still something to work for, but it's a realistic goal. There is the possibility if they work hard enough, they can achieve it. Now, these people might not always succeed. The point is, even when they fail, they get up and they keep going. They keep moving forward. Now, this is the kind of achievement motivation that usually develops very early in life. So it's very much influenced by parenting style, and these are usually the parents that are encouraging a lot of independence. They are encouraging their children to try different tasks, and they're rewarding them for their persistence and praising them, or positively reinforcing them for trying and for persisting even when things are hard. And on the other hand, we have people with a low need for achievement. So these are people that are usually motivated by a desire to avoid failure. Okay, so this is called avoidance motivation. They're not motivated to behave in a certain way to achieve something. They're motivated to behave in a certain way so that they can avoid failure. Now, unlike those with a high need for achievement, these are people that will set goals that are either so low that they can very easily be achieved, therefore avoiding failure, or they set goals that are so unrealistically high that when they do fail, no one can blame them because no one could have achieved it, in which case, again, they're avoiding those feelings of failure. Also, unlike those with a high need for achievement, those with a low need for achievement, when they fail, they are more likely to quit than keep going. Okay, those feelings of failure are going to keep them down, or are going to prevent them from wanting to risk failure again. Now, it should come as no surprise that studies show that people with higher levels of achievement motivation not only do better in school, but also have higher levels of emotional well-being, and which makes sense if you look at the type of thinking in the high need for achievement. These are people that, when they're failing, they're not letting that stop them. They're going to persist and they're going to keep going. They're taking a more optimistic um, outlook rather than focusing on their failures. They keep reaching for that success, and so that could explain some of these higher levels of emotional well-being.